How come some couples can recover from cheating and infidelity and others just simply can't? I mean, aside from the obvious of the choice of not wanting to, here are some other reasons why it might feel really difficult, why some can overcome this incredibly difficult challenge and others struggle to do so. Now, me personally, if you've been here for a minute, you know my story, okay? I have navigated two very different forms of infidelity and cheating in my world of relationships. One, we absolutely did not recover from it. And number two, I am now married and we 100,000,000% recovered from it. And full disclosure, both situations were very, very different forms of cheating and infidelity. First and foremost, there has to be a need and a want to work things out. And I think that couples who are together longer are more willing to put in the time and the effort that is required of them to rebuild trust in that relationship. And if they live together and or have kids together, it kind of elevates the need to potentially and want to work things out. The circumstances play a huge part in a couple's ability to work through infidelity. The second factor being the cheating and the infidelity has to be stopped. Done. Like, this should be a one-time thing, okay? You know, I always say you can potentially work through a situation like this one time. One time. How does that, like, Drake song go? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You should only be trying to work things out one time when it comes to cheating and infidelity. So it should go unsaid that in order to work things out, the person who was unfaithful should absolutely stop any and all contact with the person they were unfaithful with. Next, the couples that are able to move forward are able to lean into full, total honesty and transparency now moving forward and about the situation. You're going to have multiple conversations with your partner and be open and willing to do so without throwing a tantrum or being immature about things, and be really, really willing to sit down and talk about what happened more than one time without getting frustrated by things. Sometimes people, the partner who has been hurt, want to know every detail of what happened. Sometimes they don't, but if they do, you have to be fully transparent, fully honest. Like, do not leave anything out, especially if the person is asking. They're asking for a reason. And this is your opportunity to show that you can be honest, because the last thing that you want to have happen is you only share part of the story and then they find out the rest of the story. They find out the full story. And then you're digging yourself into an even deeper hole. Because trust me, we will always find out. Everyone will always find out the full truth, whether they hear it from you or somewhere else. Next, you have to take the time to rebuild the trust that was broken, because the betrayal is honestly part of the most hurtful part of cheating or infidelity in itself. It's the betrayal. So you guys have to get very clear on what rebuilding trust actually looks and feels like for you. Does it mean having full access to their phone for a while, sharing locations, having their social media passwords, etc.? Does that mean having open and honest dialogue? Does it mean time? I mean, rebuilding trust takes time regardless, okay? It's just a matter of what you choose to do with that time. I have a ton of videos that really go into very detailed descriptions on what rebuilding trust actually should look and feel like if you're going through something like this. And next, the couples that can move forward from this are the ones that are both willing to address any underlying issues that could have potentially led to any infidelity in the relationship. Now, full disclosure, a troubled relationship is absolutely not an excuse for cheating, okay? I'm just going to throw that in there. But if stuff is going on in your relationship, it could lead to it. Not to justify it, but sometimes that just happens. It's important to realize that it takes two people to create a healthy relationship, okay? And so maybe you guys need to take some time to reevaluate the things that weren't working in your relationship that you need to redirect your focus on as well. Whether it was not having open and honest communication between each other, whether it was things were missing intimately, whether it was feeling neglected in your relationship, whatever it was, you both have to be open-minded to realize the part each of you could have played in this happening. And lastly, I think is the hardest thing that couples do that creates a successful relationship after this happens. It is making the conscious choice to let go of the past when you feel ready to, and to move forward, to choose trust. If you're going to choose to stay in a relationship, there will come a day, a year, 2 years, however long it takes for you to rebuild that trust in your relationship and move forward. But there will come a day where you have to stop using the past against your partner and stop using their mistakes as ammunition in any fight or argument that you have. And when I work with clients privately on this matter, and when I experience this myself, and when I've helped my friends and family navigate through these types of moments too, okay, I always tell them one thing. One of two things are going to happen after this. You will either grow exponentially closer, and as an individual, you will grow and create an even stronger bond and relationship than you had before, or your relationship will not work out. One of those two things will happen. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. I will always do my best to answer and respond. And if you need personalized support or help with this, make sure you reach out and get it, and or book a session with me, okay?